Just looking at you makes me upset.
So long have I waited. So long have I been patient and humored my brother through his time of change, putting off the real work, building the dominion of Cities. Now, the wait is over, and brother's whining is muffled by the embrace. My tolerance has reached its end. The Dreadfather's will unfolds like a poisoned bloom, and its deadly petals drift on the wind to the furthest corners of Skyrim. What has happened to my brotherhood? Where is Shadowmere? Where is the Night Mother? This distraction created by Valeria and her meddling has weakened my position. Brother is undisciplined. He weakens us both with his misguided loyalty to people. Those he calls friends, and the pathetic dregs of this province bind him in chains of obligation to things that are useless and waste valuable time. In this age, Skyrim is the nexus of power, and I will take it back in the Dreadfather's name. Now, dear brother, you will see the return of the Black, and perhaps you will begin to comprehend that their only true salvation is death. Fleet's journal. I can feel it crawling through my limbs like worms in my veins. My body fights to reject the sickness, but it cannot be stopped. I hope for darkness to black out and not be forced to face this thing, but my eyes are held open. I cannot escape this horror, and I'm forced to watch it unfold.
What was that? I swear I'll kill you.
Brother has forced this upon me. To him, it is a means to an end. To me, it is but one more insult in an unending string of sick jokes that started in my childhood. Forever have I been alone. Father always told me it was for my protection. A boy alone in an empty fortress with only guards and nannies for company. Did you instruct them to never speak to the strange boy they watched over? Oh, I applaud you, Father. It was perfect isolation. I was alone, with nothing but my thoughts, life devoid of human touch. You primed me. You prepared me to receive the darkest of friends. Was I so desperate for companionship that even the most vile creatures were welcome? Now I am in the company of more friends than I want. I remember it now. Father's trinket. A simple necklace said to have belonged to my mother. This memento of her undying love for her son was, in reality, an instrument of my father's control, and I wore it in desperate homage to her memory. another of Sentient's deceptions to make his son compliant. But Valeria had other plans. Mother, what did you want from me? What did you know? How I wish you could simply tell me what I am to do, who I am to be. Did you know of this covenant, and what of Dibella? What is the thread that connects me to this cloak of insanity? And why must it be so difficult to penetrate? You've given me so many precious gifts, and yet I understand none of them. Haldier's Journal. The day has finally come, and I am forced to bear witness. We learned of the death of Littlefeather's longtime steward, Aldevenur, this evening, and we discussed it long into the night. It cannot be a coincidence. I received Fleet's warning, and just a day later, Aldevenur appears to have fallen to his death from the walls of the nest. He was among the most loyal and principled men I have ever met. What could he have done? I fear for Aldur. He is the only remaining attendant of the fortress and is up there alone with him. Death always heralds the arrival of Cimmerian. Discussion of Cimmerian always upsets Nefei, so I was not surprised when she took her leave shortly into the conversation. She spends more and more time inside her own head these days, and I have begun to fear for her. It is a sad fact that she has always had a much more complicated relationship with the Dark One than the rest of us, and I know it is just a matter of time before he tries to pull her back into his embrace. Hello, Nefei. You are Cimmerian. Ah, yes. It has been so long since you and I worked together, but still you remember. Oh, how could I forget your deceit? Deceit? You wound me, Nefei. What lies are these, exactly? You made me believe you were someone other than the selfish boy who left my father to rot and brought ruin to my family. Interesting. You are a weak person, Nefay.
I am no such thing.
Ah, but you are the one lying now. You lie to yourself. Only those of weak will can be made to believe anything.
You tricked me.
I have never been anything other than what I am. I am Cimmerian.
And you killed my father. You are not the man I saw just days ago. Even catatonic, I feel you are different. You are evil.
You are grasping, child.
Do not mock me.
This is not mockery, Nefay. It is disdain. The same disdain I would show for anyone who would deny themselves full use of their mind.
What the hell are you talking about?
Do you know when I was born, Nefay?
I do not understand.
I was born in the darkness and despair of the spike. In the endless, crawling madness of the black. Lying in his own filth, tortured by nightmares of betrayal and vengeance, did the one known as Fleet languish. Frightened and isolated, deprived of human touch, and enveloped in a crushing cloak of insanity. For years. There did he languish, there did I find him. I became his voice in the dark, his savior. I whispered to him of the void, and I eased his fear. The darkness became his home, and the terror subsided. The calm entered his soul, and the black came into his life.
What does this have to do with anything?
Still, you are incapable of objective thought, but it always was your heart that kept you from being a truly great killer. Passion can turn the tides of battle, but it is calculation that wins the war. That makes you the loser, Nefay.
How dare you speak to me in this way? You have no idea what I have sacrificed.
Sacrifice? Do not speak to me of sacrifice, vermin. For uncounted thousands of years have I waited to bring my message to this realm. To save this decrepit, festering midden heap from self-destruction, and you cry to me about sacrifice. The fate of your precious father was sealed long before I arrived. It was sealed by his gambling debts, his addictions, his lechery. Yes, he was left twisting by the man that was Fleet. But it was his own well-deserved reputation that sealed his doom, and the doom of your family. Your father was tainted long before his fall. Since you will not take the advice of your mind, then listen very closely to your heart, and hear what it whispers about your father's true nature. Now, ask yourself if it could have turned out any other way.
Gods, who are you?
I am the Black.
When comes the black?
Yes, Nefay. Now you begin to see. Your eyes open.
What do you want?
I wish only to save mortals from themselves, but my efforts are limited by this feeble vessel I must occupy, and the work of my reconstruction is considerable. I need believers, Nefay. I require the faithful.
My father was a shit. He left us destitute with his gambling and whoring. His infidelity destroyed my mother, and he continued to cheat and steal, even as his job in the palace hung by a thread. He could not stop.
You are not like your father, Nefay. It is not too late for you. Join me, child. Be my right hand and help me remake the world.
What must I do?
You are the spy master, Nefay. Do what you do best. The Black go with you.
the gold.
2
But did
3s.
he listen?
What was I thinking? The
Fool never saw me
walls
pull
have
that ace. Someone there?
food.
What was that? With 3 beers down, the orc did frown and bid the elf goodbye. For none could know 'twas not for show, and someone had to. What was that? Someone there?
Roda!